All right, hello American literature students. Mr. Maines back here with you all. I am making this quick video for the assignment Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God by our good friend Johnathon Edwards. So I'll probably card in a couple of extra links to videos throughout the internet just to kind of give you a little bit more background about Johnathon Edwards, the Great Awakening, and Puritanism in general as it stands here. A couple things that I'll highlight before we start reading is Johnathon Edwards, very popular Christian thinker during the 1700s. His books still sell today. Not that his ideas are mainstream for Christianity anymore, but he was the president of Princeton College for a while. His grandson was Aaron Burr, who famously shot Alexander Hamilton. If you haven't seen Hamilton yet, definitely go watch that. It's a good plug there. This is one of his more famous sermons. He makes a very powerful metaphor about sinners being just held in the hands of God over the fiery pits of hell. And he says that the only thing stopping God from just letting go is his own arbitrary will, his uncovenanted and unobliged forbearance of an incensed, angry God. So this is kind of fun to read. And our point in reading it is really to get into the mindset of these early Puritan settlers as they figure out life in this new land. And so what was happening during this time is guys like Johnathon Edwards were going around and preaching to various groups. So they would bring their little podium out into a field, or maybe they would get the chance to use a different pastor's church, and they would preach to people. Johnathon Edwards is preaching a message of fear to make the people listening come to a decision point. So I want you guys, as you read it, to think about this really as a sales pitch, almost like an infomercial, that Johnathon Edwards sees the problem of people's souls, that they are destined for hell, as he says, to paraphrase, or maybe to put it in my own words. Once you are born, according to Johnathon Edwards, you are sentenced to hell. Those are the rules of the universe, and it is only because God is holding you in his hands that you are not burning in hell already. He even equates early on that God's anger is as great toward them as those that are actually suffering these executions of the fierceness of his wrath in hell. So he equivocates the hatred and the anger of God to those alive who are sinners, so everybody, to those who are already in hell. So if we famously will just say, if there's anybody in hell, if hell exists, then Hitler's there. According to Johnathon Edwards, through God's eyes, you are equal to Hitler just for existing with being a sinner. So a terrifying message from this man, but the use of figurative language is crucial here. So that's what we want you guys to see. How he's persuading his argument, how he's using this figurative language to create imagery in his listeners' minds to really drive his point home. So we have a couple questions early on, especially about figurative language. Definitely click on that link to get definitions of metaphor, simile, personification, hyperbole, etc. And as the sermon progresses, about the first 10-ish paragraphs are all kind of presenting the problem of, hey, there's the bell. You need Jesus because God is sentencing you to hell. When we get to about paragraph 13, and even before then, that's when he really brings in his solution. This is the part of the infomercial where it's like, call now for 5 easy payments of $29.99. You can go to heaven too. And so feel that switch. Really pay attention to the language in paragraph 13 especially when he starts to make the turn to presenting the solution to people. Because if he just went doom and gloom for 15 paragraphs, then everybody goes home with just like, oh my God, I'm terrified, I could die anytime and go to hell. What am I going to do? Johnathon Edwards doesn't want to leave these people hanging. His role is to convert souls. So this is kind of fun because the Great Awakening is a positive thing for everybody, even non-religious people, because it fed into some Enlightenment ideas of challenging authority. Johnathon Edwards told his followers, hey, you do not need a priest, you do not need an institutionalized clerical class to tell you who God is and what you need to do to be saved. All you need is this book and to hear my message, and then you're good to go. Anybody could do it. Doesn't matter if you're white, black, brown, yellow, anything. You're all sentenced to hell. So you all need Jesus, is Johnathon Edwards' message. And then we're going to move on after this to a little fun assignment where you're going to pick a pet peeve or a grievance. Here's a bunch of examples here. And you're going to write your own little persuasive argument. You can call it a sermon if you want to present one of these as a terrible problem. Conspiracy theories in our world, people who overuse quotes from movies. Pick one you want, make it a problem, make it fun, and then present a solution as well. So that's where we're going with this. Enjoy, like, and subscribe, YouTube things. Thank you so much.